In biomolecules, the next one are primary metabolites, or primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. Primary and the secondary metabolites are produced inside the plant cells. Actually, we know that in a living organism, some thousands of organic substances or organic molecules are produced. Out of all these one, like amino acids, proteins, carbohydrates, so vitamins, etc. have been produced. Out of all of them, it is not compulsory that all are required for the survival of the living organism or the plant in which they have been synthesized. But the one which are useful for the survival of that living organism, we call it as a primary metabolites. Or we can say that any organic substance which have an identifiable function inside the cell. Such type of organic substance is called as a primary metabolite, and which is useful for metabolism, or which is concerned with the metabolic processes or biochemical process, or which is useful for the biochemical process which is taking place inside the cell. Such type of organic substances are called as metabolites, primary metabolites. Actually, what is a metabolite? Metabolite is a product of a biochemical process or a product of metabolism which is resulted as a process of changes which are taking place in a organic substance. So here the primary metabolite is useful for the cell or useful for the organism in which it is synthesized. But apart from this one, there are some additional metabolites are there. Those are called as secondary metabolites. These are synthesized inside the cell, but these are also formed as a result of metabolic process or as a result of biochemical changes from one type of organic substance to the other type of substance. But the thing is, they does not have identifiable function inside the cell. That is the difference between the primary metabolite and the secondary metabolite. But these secondary metabolites have which are useful for humankind. Or some of them have ecological uses. Some of them have economic importance also. Thus, such type of substances which are synthesized inside the cells of the plants but which are not useful for them, such type of organic compounds are called as a secondary metabolites. Here various types of secondary metabolites are there, like pigments, alkaloids, terpenoids, essential oils, toxins, polymeric substances, lectins, drugs, etc. All these are the part of secondary metabolites which have been synthesized inside the plant cells. Let us discuss some of the examples of various types of secondary metabolites and from which type of plants they have been produced, and what is the significance for the humankind and also as a part of economic uses or ecological significance. Okay, first let's start with the first one, pigments. As we know that plants produce a lot number of types of pigments, the chlorophyll pigment as we know, but apart from that one, they also produce carotenoids. So as we know that carotenoids are the accessory pigments which are assisting or helping the main photosynthetic pigment present in the plants, that is chlorophyll molecule. Such type of pigments are called as a carotenoids, so like xanthophylls and carotenes. Then apart from that one, anthocyanin. Carotenoids are present in the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast, but here anthocyanin is present in the cell sap of vacuole, and based on the pH of the cell sap, the anthocyanin will provide different types of colors like red, blue, violet or purple like colors to the petals, and which will help in attracting the insects. Then alkaloids. Alkaloids like morphine. So morphine is the one which is extracted from the papaver plant. Papaver somniferum. So this is a one in which that is opium poppy plant. So which is an psychochemical, which is useful for psychochemical mechanisms in the animals. And other one is codeine. Codeine is also been extracted from the opium plant, that is opium poppy plant, which is used as sedative, analgesic and antihypertensive. So likewise various types of antidepressant also. So likewise these are the some of the alkaloids which have been considered as a secondary metabolites and useful for the humankind. Next one are terpenoids. Terpenoids like monoterpenes or monoterpenoids, diterpenoids, etc. And others are essential oils like lemongrass oil. Then others are toxins. So as we know, toxins means the poisonous materials. So like abrin and ricin. Ricin is the one which is synthesized in the Ricinus communis, that is castor plant. Ricin is a carbohydrate binding protein. And it is an ribosome inhibitor. So ribosome inhibiting protein means which will inhibit the activity of the ribosome. Ribosome inhibiting protein. Then other one is abrin. One more toxin is the abrin. So abrin is extracted from the seeds of rosary pea plant. So this is also an ribosome inhibiting protein. So ribosome inhibiting protein means which will inhibit the activity of the ribones. That is the activity of the ribosomes protein synthesis will be inhibited by this protein molecule. So like this, these are the ricin and abrin, or which are toxic or causing some inhibitory activity in the animals. So that's the reason why these are considered to be the toxic materials. Next one are lectins. Lectins like concavalin A. So this is a lectin material or carbohydrate binding protein. So this is a protein which is extracted from the jack bean plant. And this is also one of the lectin belonging to the legume lectin family or legume lectin protein molecule. And they will bind to the sugars like glycoproteins and glycolipids. Actually, lectins are the special type of carbohydrate binding proteins which are normal lectins are the proteins which are helping in the attracting the specific bacterial strains during the formation of nodules in the legume plants. Drugs like in curcumin. Curcumin is extracted from the Curcuma longa or curcuma plant, that is turmeric. This is used as a food coloring substance. Used as a food coloring substance and also food additive. Then other one is vinblastin. Vinblastin is extracted from Vinca rosea or Catharanthus roseus or Catharanthus plant. So this is useful for treating various types of cancers. So these are the two drugs which are extracted from different plants which are acting as a secondary metabolites, and others are polymeric substances. Polymeric substances like rubber, gum, cellulose like examples. As we know that these are useful for rubber material which is present in the latex of the latex which is secreted inside the plant cells. So that is useful for making various types of artificial rubbers which are useful for mankind. And gum is a sticky like substances which is extracted oozing out from the openings which have been formed on the surface of the bark of the trees. So which is also useful for mankind. And cellulose is the one which is major constituent part of the cell wall in the plant cells. So likewise these are various types of secondary metabolites which are produced inside the plants for but which are not having any identifiable function, but they are useful for the humankind and also for the, that is, they are useful for the mankind and also for various economic uses or ecological importance.